Hi friends, very good evening. This is Shivakumar Kalal. Okay, in today's lecture, we will be understanding a little more about a networking connection. We have spoke a lot of theory yesterday, where we have been discussing about TCP, UDP, some theory stuff. But today, we will be learning some real-time problem so that our next session so that we can relate it and then we can understand what happens behind the screen so that we will be able to make out where exactly the problem, how should I proceed. Now let me come back to the server 1 and server 2. Okay, so guys, this is, let's assume this is my server 1. Okay, and this is a server 2. Server 1 having the NIC card, I have connected to that VMnet 0, and server 2 also have the same NIC card, that is VMnet 0. Okay, just I will verify for your confirmation purpose. I have server 1 here, I have one network adapter, you can see, and I have server 2 here, and server 2 also have one network adapter. Now let me check whether both network adapters are connected or not. First network adapter connected to VMnet 0, that is fine. Second server is connected to VMnet 0. So with this we can conclude both servers are connected to each other. So our communication channel is already in place. So now it is ready to make the TCP IP communication. That is fine. We have seen a lot of stuff on TCP IP communication in today's session. So what else we are going to learn? We are going to learn about more and more about IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. These are the three things why it is highly important whenever you want to do networking. Let's start our journey. So guys, when you want to start communication between two servers, what are all the things you need? First thing, you need a network adapter. Fine, I have this network adapter. Okay. Second, what else you need? You need two servers connected. Okay, so two servers connected. Yes, I'm damn sure both are connected because both are connected to VMnet 0. So definitely both are connected, and it should have some IP address. Fine, let's check it out whether these two servers are having IP address or not. Okay, let me log into the server. Let me check whether I have IP address or not. So yes, I have a IP address, but this is a 169.254.236 and 62. I told you whatever may be the IP address which starts with 169.254, we call this the APIPA address. This is a temporary IP address which is provided by the operating system for temporary purpose, temporary communication. But in real time, in a real world scenario, you should never configure APIPA address for communication purpose. But still, I have this APIPA address connected so that I'll be able to make the communication within the subnet. Remember a point. So what is the purpose that we are using this APIPA address? Yes, APIPA address also type of IP address only. You can make the communication, but it has a lot of limitation. You cannot go beyond the routers. You cannot go beyond the network. You cannot go beyond the subnets. So it is limited. So it is just a temporary IP address. When there is no DHCP server available over the network, it will be assigned by the operating system to the network adapter. So that point you remember. So second server also I'll check what is the IP address of my second server. This is also having the APIPA address. So guys, let me see whether I will be able to make the communication between them. Just I'll check a ping response and then we'll see. So your focus must be these two fields. What is it? First one is IP address, second one is a subnet mask. Let's go step by step into the discussion. So IP address is there, where I noticed IP is there and subnet mask also there. Subnet mask. What is the IP that we have seen? 169.254 23662. This is the IP address 23662. And what about the subnet mask? Subnet mask is always 255.0.0 for IPA address. So yes, this is also there. And what else you should have in order to make the communication between the two servers? So you should be enable firewall rule for ICMP version 4 communication. Instead of opening the firewall and enabling the ports, you just come to networking and sharing center, click on advanced sharing settings, and there is an option called file and printer sharing. You turn on. When you turn on this, what it does, it makes the firewall rule enabled in between these two servers. Okay, so these two servers, I'm trying to click on turn on firewall changes. Okay, then what happens? You can see Windows firewall is turned on or turned off? Turned on. Windows firewall is working. So in both servers, Windows firewall is working. You can see very clearly working. But what we are doing, firewall by default will block all the unnecessary communication, out of which our ICMP communication also getting blocked. That is the reason we are explicitly enabling the firewall rule for ICMP version 4, ICMP v4, where file and print sharing will enable this communication. So this is also done. Let me go back. So enable firewall rule for ICMP v4. Why v4? We are using IPv4 address. IPv4 communication. Indirectly we can say or enable file and print sharing. That will also make the same stuff. Okay, done. With this, we will be able to make the communication. Let's see. I'll go and ping those servers. Definitely those should ping each other. So what is the IP address of this? 169.254. 169.254. And what is the IP address? 23662. 23662. Hey, that's great. Communication is happening between them. Let me go back and try same thing. 87.109 ping 169.254 87.109. Super. Both are communicating with each other. Let's see if I change IP address, what happens between the communication between them. What I'll do, I'll go to the properties and IPv4. So here I have chosen obtain IP address automatically, which means this is getting IP address automatically. So I told you yesterday, when you click on this, what happens? This particular server going to request all the computers in network, please give me IP address. Anybody there, DHCP server, please provide me the IP address. Whenever you click on it, it always asks for DHCP. In case you have only two servers in the network, you don't have a DHCP server available for you, then who is going to provide you an IP address? Then you will get IPAddress, automatic private IP address, which is there in alternate configuration tab. You will be receiving IP address from here. Okay, I don't want that. I'll give manual address. Something, let me put like 192.168.1.1. 1.1. So default gateway I'm keeping 255.255.255.0. Sorry, subnet mask I'm keeping 255.255.255.0, and default gateway I'm just leaving it as blank. So I just changed some random IP address. As of now, you think I have changed a random IP address. Let's see what happens to the communication. It should work fine, right? It should or not? Whatever may be. It may be having nice IP address, or you don't like that IP address. It doesn't matter. If the computer having IP address, both are connected, then ideally they're supposed to have the communication. But will it happen? Will it happen? That is what our focus. So let's check it out. What is current IP address of our server? This is 192.168.1.1 and default gateway is 255.255.0.0. This is our default gateway. Okay, so what I did, instead of having APIPA address in my server 1, I changed it this way. Okay, so 192.168.1.1 and default gateway is, sorry, subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. I'll tell you why when you have to change this address, why only 255, why can't I keep only 2 times of 255, those kind of stuff I'll tell you. So just I'm giving you some basic understanding. Okay, so now this particular server is having 192.168 IP address, right? Now what about the second server? Second server is having APIPA address, which is subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. Okay, so here it is something, let me go here. So what is the IP address of second server? That is this one. Okay, obviously these two different IP address set. That is a different IP address, this is a different IP address, but ping communication should happen. Let's see whether it will happen or not. Okay, so 87.109 87.109. Second server address is 87.109. So we will be in the same page. Okay, so 169.254.87.109 is the IP address. Ping 169.254.87.109. No, it is not happening. Request timed out. Let me go back to this server and ping 192.168.1.1. Transmit failed. Why this is happening? So this is first scenario you carefully observe. Okay, just I'll give you little clue. Maybe here you see there is two 255s. Okay, let me just correct this. I'm sorry for the mistake. I'll just correct this particular thing. Okay, now this is correct. Okay, maybe reason here subnet mask is showing 3 255s, here subnet mask is showing only 2 255s. Maybe there is some interlink between them. Let's do a random guess and then we'll proceed. So what I'll do, I'll come here and I'll change this. Okay, so what is the IP address of this? IP address of this is 192.168.1.1. so I'll change the same thing. Okay, so let's check it out what happens if I change the same thing. Here I'll put 192.168.1 dot something 2 is better. Okay, 255.255.0.0. I am giving this IP address here. Let's check the ping response now. Let's see whether it will happen or not. Great, this is happening. And let me check from server 1. Ping 192.168.1.2. server 2 is a 2, server 1 is 1. Yes, it is happening. This particular scenario, what happened? I changed the IP address from 169 254 IPA address to 192.168. So it is working fine, right? That's cool, no? So here 192.168 1.2 I gave, and what is the subnet mask that I have given? 255 255 255 0. This time I'll again just give you a little clue. Here you see subnet mask is matching in both cases. Here also 3/4 255 is there. Here also 3/4, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. These three sections having 255. Both are matching, okay, and then we are able to make the communication. I'll tell you what is a subnet mask, what is the default gateway, what is a route table, how to calculate a network ID, subnet mask, and subnetting, supernetting. All this stuff is interlinked, but just you try to understand how these are communication is happening because of change of IP address. Okay, that is fine. Let's go back. Let's go back, and little change will make. Okay, both subnet masks are same, but I will change one from the third octet. Let's see what happens if I do that one. Okay, ncpa.cpl, and this time I want to keep the subnet mask is same because both are in the same. Here I'll keep a 2. Okay, this time I will again try to make the communication. Let's see. So I'll try to ping the server 2 now. No, this is not happening. So even subnet mask is matching in both servers, but this is not happening. Subnet mask is matching in both servers, but it is not happening. Let me try. This is 2 we changed, right? Let's see. No, this is not happening. Okay, so this time we concluded there is some interlink between IP address and subnet mask. Will you agree with me? Will you agree? There is a huge relationship between IP address and subnet mask, and then we'll start our discussion. So now, by now you might understood, okay, IP address and subnet mask both are important for the communication purpose. It is not as your wish, whatever the numbers you want to keep and you can keep, just it will make the communication. No, it will never happen in that way. So in order to understand these concepts, you should know 3 things. You should know 3 things. Then you will be able to understand. What are all those 3 things? I will tell you. Okay. Let me make a point. You should understand IP address classes. Okay. So there are different class A. You have class B. You have class C, class D, class E. You should know them. Then only you will be able to make the difference between one server to another server IP address. Second thing you must know, when subnet mask, when to use a subnet mask, and if I change the subnet mask, what happens. And you should know default gateway, and you also should know what is network ID. Okay, and you should know what is broadcast ID, broadcast IP address also you can say, no problem, broadcast IP address. Okay, so you can say network IP address and broadcast. These are the 5 different stuff you must know in order to understand networking perfectly. And then you should also know very important one, subnetting. If you know this subnetting very well, okay, then you will be able to understand complete knowledge of networking. Okay, so that's all for the day. Let's see this the explanation tomorrow so that you will be able to understand. Okay, thank you very much. See you tomorrow.